Don't know how good this is going to be. I'll try to make this quick. Tosi Kovesi. Perhaps you could point me to proof, because it seems that countries with strict gun control and regulation, mass shootings hardly even happen. And knife, talking about assault weapons, and I'm still gonna go and I want to check. Can I do that? Screw it. I'm going back, and I actually have to go in and check these. But there's a point to this. How it good? We trust the money along with additional pleasures. It's only thing that I mentioned about freedom. People should have the freedom of religion, found others. And they mention God or Creator, their superior for nature, the laws of nature, Einstein. No, people are dumb. Sorry, Cassie Miller, you're wrong. I'll address that also. That one I'm gonna have to reread after this video. We're probably gonna vote for Trump. We have to work together. No shit, I can't say that. Okay, so this video is mainly about gun control because of the San Bernardino shooting, from Aurora to every other mass shooting. What has always been the same? Answer: every mass shooting happens in a gun-free zone. Now, most people get confused because they talk about the gun, the assault weapon, and mass shootings, instead of talking about murder rates. And the reason that's important is, yes, there are mass shootings, yes, we may have more of them, but our per capita rate compared to, say, getting hit by a car or medical malpractice, you could conceivably or it's not conceivable, it's absolutely certain that more people die by getting hit by accident by a car than by a mass shooter. Okay? Which means you're more likely to get hit by a car than shot by a mass shooter. You're more likely to have a doctor prescribe the wrong medication and kill you that way than to be shot by a mass shooter. There's a lot of ways, normal death things that are normal ways of dying, that you are more likely to have happen to you than being in a mass shooting. That's my first point. My next point is the assault weapon. There is no such thing, people. There really isn't. There is no such thing as an assault weapon or an assault gun or whatever. That's just a manufactured term. There is, starting from the slowest shooting rifle or handgun to the fastest, we start with musket loaders. Then there is single shot, it could be bolt action or breakaway, whatever. Then there is semi-automatic, which is the industry standard, everybody's favorite. I personally love semi-automatic. Then there is 3-round burst, fully automatic. There's also selective fire, which would be like 1 shot, 3-round burst, fully automatic, or semi-automatic, something like that, all on one weapon. Now, the reason I'm talking guns here is because we need to understand this. Guns are tools. Guns don't go out and kill people. Guns don't go into a Christmas party in San Bernardino and shoot up the place. People did that with guns. I'm a proponent of no gun control. None. Sip, zilch, nada. The counter arguments I've heard so far for why I'm wrong is, let's see if I can remember these. We have pro-gun areas where guns come from. So like Pennsylvania might have less gun laws than Ohio, so Ohio, if they got gun control, would still get guns from PA because our gun laws aren't as tight as theirs. And that's the excuse they use when I point out the difference between Detroit and Chicago, and then compare that to like the two highest per capita gun ownership cities in America, one of which is in Texas, and their murder rate. And suddenly I'm looking at that and it was like 86% drop in violent crime and 3 murders a day in Detroit and Chicago. So I'm drifting off track. That point. Also that, what was the other one? They like to say that they need tighter restrictions on guns in order to prevent things like that from happening. And it's really hard for me to wrap my head around these counter arguments. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. But at any rate, what it boils down to is, do you, as a human being, have the right to defend yourself? I got this as a gift from my girlfriend. I think everybody, if you don't want to have a gun or a knife, you should at least have something like this. See? A 17% pepper spray. And the problem with the gun control debate, and sorry, Tosi, if I sound condescending or rude at any point, but here's the thing. The proof that gun control doesn't work is, for those of you who want to know, is everywhere. Every mass shooting happened in a gun-free zone. Every time, and I won't lie, there are problems with our society that can't be solved, and there will always be problems in any society. But when it comes to blaming the gun, that is no different than, how do I analogize this? It's sort of like blaming the fire that burned down the forest. It doesn't solve anything. It's kind of asinine. That's a bad analogy. But the point still stands. Gun control does not work. And the proof is, 1, in the most tightly regulated place in our society, and remember I said you can't look at guns, you have to look at violent crime or murder rates. Think of the most tightly regulated gun-free zone you can think of. Jail or prison. Would you feel safe in there? I would. And also think of, when push came to shove. Here's a scenario I like to give people. It's 1:30 in the morning, you're about to go to bed. Suddenly you hear a noise, you look out of your window, and there's 2 masked people walking up your walkway. And they both, one has a knife, one has a gun. You turn around, you have seconds to decide what you're going to do about these people. They are now trying to get into your house, and they are armed, they are dangerous. You turn around, and there is a cell phone dialed to 911, and then there is a gun. Which would you choose? 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. They just broke down the door. They're running up to you. They pulled the gun on you. They're telling you, do what we say, or, we'll kill you. Unless, of course, you chose the gun, in which case the door broke down, shot rang out, first person through the door dropped, second person turned tail and ran. Is that how it will always go? No. But you best believe that it gives people a sense of security to be able to defend themselves, their property, their family from whack jobs, from terrorists, or from the tyranny of their own government, but banning the guns were never the answers. More proof is in the statistics. I gotta drink some of it, my mouth is getting dry. The highest incident of mass shooting should have been when? Probably between 1700 and 1800, before we had any of our modern gun law. So why is it the more gun law we seem to pass, the more mass shootings we have? When the law tries to prevent crime, when the law creates gun-free zones, what the law is actually doing is more harm on purpose. You create a gun-free zone, that's an invitation for a whack job to go in and shoot these people. That's stupid. Now, I hope you're starting to see, and I'll be making more videos on this. I know I've made videos in the past, but I need to actually get a professional, bells and whistles, sources, all that jazz, all together in one video. Because this was supposed to be like a 2-minute video, and it's already gone on for 10 minutes, just on guns. And the only reason I have been sick as a dog. Anybody else who has a really sore throat and any advice on how to get over that sickness would be greatly appreciated. But I'm going to end this video.